Where is it? Why can't I find it? Come on, I really need to review Nova number 2. Everybody wants to see two helmeted people go at it head to head. I can only just find that comic and I can get started with this review. Hang on, what's this? The Flash number 1, huh? Worth a shot. As you might have guessed, I'm going to review The Flash number 1, because I can't find Nova number 2. And you can probably already guess that by the title of this video, right?
Hang on. You're reviewing a DC comic? Mr. Marvel Universe? The guy who knows everything about the Marvel Universe?
Hi, Blue Streak. Breaking the fourth wall again, I see.
Someone has to around here. Might as well be me.
Right, so why are you here?
You're reviewing a DC book, man. That's huge. You. The Marvel guy. The guy who said he'd never...
Hey, I never said that I wasn't going to review a DC comic. Wait. Are you assembling a crowd?
Yes.
I wonder if Stan Lee ever had days like this.
Don't mind us. You just do your thing.
Thank you very much. Alright, people. Flash number 1 comic showcase is on. Even as a Marvel fan, I can't deny that the Flash is one of the greatest superheroes of all time. Whether he's the Golden Age Jay Garrick Flash, the Silver Age Barry Allen, or the Modern Age Wally West. Whoever wore the costume, the Scarlet Speedster from Central City is well known from appearing on everything from television to action figures. He's the fastest man in the DC Universe and a key member of his world's greatest heroes, the Justice League. Oh yeah, there was the Bart Allen Flash for all of 5 minutes. That's right. I did my research. Thanks to the DC Universe reboot of September 2011, I'll be talking about the Barry Allen Flash. He, along with the majority of DC's stable of characters, were rebooted into a new universe where the heroes had new costumes and all their histories have been reset. I have a feeling it went a little something like this.
See this button? Don't touch it! It's the history eraser button, you fool!
Welcome to the House of M. The new 52. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's good. Before the universe was reset, Barry had returned from the dead and resumed his mantle as the Flash, and had a stint as a Blue Lantern. It gets kind of confusing, I know. We should really look up his origins of his powers before we get started. Okay, let's see what the DC Comics Encyclopedia has to say about Barry Allen. The Barry Allen Flash was created by Robert K. Snyder, John Broome, and Carmen Infantino. It made its debut in Showcase number 4, ushering in the Silver Age of comics. Like Hal Jordan, Barry was the second person to pick up the mantle of a Golden Age hero. Barry was granted his fantastic speed powers thanks to a lightning bolt crashing through a window, hitting him and causing him to fall into a shelf filled with vials of chemicals. He joined the Justice League and became one of the greatest members of the team, even showing up in...
I fear we are too late. All is lost. On the contrary, Mr. Singh.
That's the only Super Friends clip I'm going to show in this video. Or ever. In the 1980s, Barry's next claim to fame was starring in the first DC reboot attempt, Crisis on Infinite Earth. In it, he died helping to save not only his world, but others as well. His death in that story was the catalyst for Wally West becoming the new Flash. Congrats, Kid Flash, you got the job. Now go get voiced by Lex Luthor from Smallville. You're gonna do great. With comics being comics, no one stays dead for long. Returning in Final Crisis 2 after West and Golden Age Flash Jay Garrick feel vibration, the Scarlet Speedster returns to active duty in the DC Universe. The reason why he was brought back? Well, Jeff Johns, the writer for the comics at the time, had this to say. When the greatest evil comes back to the DC Universe, the greatest hero is needed to return. Superman not available for comment. Fast forward 2 years in a Blue Lantern uniform later, we get the DC Comics reboot. Fast forward, really? Out of all the speed-related jokes I could have used. In the new universe created after the Flashpoint event, Barry is no longer married to longtime flame Iris West. I could say that he was one more date, but that'd be beating a dead horse at this point. Backstory's out of the way. Let's take a look at this cover. Right away, you'll notice that the art is pretty good. Flash is literally running at the reader, and it serves its purpose in grabbing someone's attention. Comic book covers need to grab people's attention when they are buying them, and I have to be honest in saying that this cover looks very three-dimensional without actually it being in 3D. Our story begins with Barry at a black tie event with his girlfriend Patty. This event is a tech symposium, and right away we can tell that he's less than thrilled about this date. After going to a monorail display, they are met with a guy named Darwin who explains just how great monorails are.
There's nothing on earth like a genuine, bona fide, electrified six-car monorail. What I say?
Monorail.
What's it called?
Monorail.
That's right, monorail.
It works in Ogdenville and North Havenbrook, right? Just when the guy is about to break into song about monorails, baddies crash through the ceiling, knocking everyone out with some kind of sleeping gas. Barry, however, is nowhere to be seen as we see a very creative splash page where he's getting suited up using some kind of magnetic force generated from the ring he now wears. I wonder how long not Iris is going to stick around. This kind of thing always happens to his girlfriends. Watch.
Make it quick.
Wow, a 2-page spread? This is kinda cool. The top left reads, "My name is Barry Allen. To the world, I'm the fastest man alive." We then see Flash charging in and taking out the anonymous gun-toting party crashers. Flash's playmates are less than thrilled and demand that the others take him down. He quips saying, "With what?" Without weapons, the men run into a waiting Harrier jet, and one says, "Keep your pants on, we're coming." Make your own dirty joke here, guys. I'm not touching this one. After clotheslining 2 thugs, Flash makes a running leap after the Harrier. Of course, our cocky hero thinks it's a little too easy and ends up getting knocked into the sewers. Once he makes his impact on the city, a passerby goes to see if the Flash is okay. She introduces herself as Iris West, Central City citizen. Flash recovers and hands the portable genome recorder the crooks tried to steal to one of the doctors who invented it. He takes off, and of course Patty is wondering where he went off to. Get used to it, lady. You're in Lois Lane territory now. Barry shows up and the two get their CSI gear on as the body was discovered not far from there. We're now watching CSI Central City. One of the cops thinks the Flash pushed him, and Barry recognizes the man who died as a friend of his named Manuel. Patty then asks if he and Manuel were good friends when... Whew! The chemistry between Barry and Iris is already off the charts. This new lady doesn't stand a chance. Iris, being the investigative reporter she is, promptly asks if the Flash really had something to do with this. Barry replies with, "The cause of death hasn't been established yet." I mean, aside from falling hundreds of feet to the pavement, this guy clearly isn't Wile E. Coyote. Iris asks for details on the story as it develops and asks if Barry still has her number. She then says she'll call him later, and Patty's just a little annoyed. She comes on a little strong, doesn't she? You're trying to compete with a couple that's like Clark Kent and Lois Lane. I honestly don't see you sticking around much longer, lady. The next day we see the director ask for Barry's report a la J. Jonas Jameson. The captain arrives, asking if there's a homicide with the Flash's fingerprints on it, not realizing that the Flash is wearing gloves, and the evidence is circumstantial at best. Thankfully, someone with a brain states that Manuel died of something else. The chief says that if anyone talks, they're done, and the people agree with this, while Barry looks somewhat despondent. Later, the Scarlet Speedster stands on a ledge overlooking the metropolis like Batman as he looks back at what happened to Manuel and their past together. Symbolism! I am so sorry, Film Brain. But look at this page. He's standing on a ledge. Come on, symbolism. You can tell, right? Look. Symbolism. You can tell. On the ledge, Flash is greeted by the inventor of the genome decoder. The man explains how it isn't his fault. Flash still looks outward and asks if he could borrow the device, as it may have a clue to Manuel's death. The inventor says of course, and wonders if it's personal to the Flash somehow. Oh boy, sometimes it's great to have a secret identity. Barry uses his scientific know-how to figure out that Manuel's genetic structure has been altered somehow. He wonders who did it, and how he got tangled with a bunch of Harrier-driving party crashers. Suddenly, there's a thud near the apartment door, and Barry quickly sprints into action. The intruder chuckles and says, "Some things never change." A closer look reveals the intruder to be none other than Barry's late friend, Manuel, who is looking surprisingly not deadish. Manuel says he doesn't have time to explain. There's another crash, and Manny says to follow him, and keep up. You're honestly telling the Flash to keep up? That's rich. They make their way down the fire escape and talk about what's going on. Manuel, of course, is being very vague about how he's now among the living. And no, this isn't a Blackest Night thing. At least, I don't think it is. They're spotted by some people in uniform, and a chase scene begins. Of course, the Flash asks what's going on, and Manny replies with, "You of all people should know we're always running from something." Barry admits that Manny is right, proceeds to monologue as he changes into his Flash costume. He's half right. My mom once told me that life is locomotion. If you're not moving, you're not living. But there comes a time when you've got to stop running away from these things, and you've got to start running towards something. You've got to forge ahead, even if your path isn't lit. Trust that you find your way. But that's something Manuel could never do. He was always trying to stay ahead of his mistakes, too busy outrunning ghosts to notice the friends he's left behind. Friends like me. But the thing is, no matter how fast or how far you run, you can't outrun yourself. The comic ends with the splash page as we see Flash and Manuel face to face with many Manuels. Suffice to say, this is to be continued, and somehow Flash took a left turn into the Clone Saga. As far as first issues go, this comic gives us decent art, good story, and reintroduces the reader to both Barry Allen and Iris West. The story is intriguing, our protagonist is just as charismatic as other versions of Barry Allen have been. I don't know if this Manuel guy is from the other DC universe or not. It's still a gripping tale of a friend trying very hard to figure out what killed a good man. Unlike other people, the Flash has the means to find out himself. He's a forensic scientist and a superhero. And like any other super, he tries very hard to figure out the cause of the crime. I like it when characters don't use their powers to solve everything. We've been seeing a lot of instances where heroes have been using their other talents to stop evil lately. The Flash series got off to a fantastic start with great artwork, fantastic storyline, and as a Marvel fan, I was really impressed by what I saw. If more DC reboots are like this, I will be sure to pick them up. So, that was the end of my Flash review. What do you think, Blue Streak? So typical. See you next time on Comic Showcase, everyone. This is Seafarer, signing off. Interesting.